Your ability has a more suitable purpose. The blizzard has blocked the roads. Supply trucks can't get through. The airstrip is buried in snow. We need to clear a lifeline. Snow removal? Chloe feels utterly humiliated. I'm supposed to be the protagonist with a cheat system, destined to become the queen of the apocalypse, and you want me to be a janitor? I refuse. I'm an awakened. How dare you humiliate me like this? Refuse? The commander's smile vanishes instantly. No work means no food here. Even the awakened work for what they get. Fine. Choose not to work. Then get out and go back to the blizzard. He waves his hand. Two soldiers beside him immediately step forward, their gun barrels rising slightly. Ryan's legs go weak with fear. He quickly grabs Chloe's sleeve, frantically signaling with his eyes. Chloe, don't be rash. Stay alive first. We'll figure it out later. Chloe stares at those dark gun barrels, then thinks of the hellish cold outside. Her pride shatters. I'll do it. She grits her teeth and lowers her head in humiliation. Half an hour later, Chloe is assigned to the Special Clearance Unit, number 098. Her job is simple. Stand in front of construction vehicles and continuously use her ability on the snow and debris ahead. Eliminate sections of snow walls. When one section disappears, the convoy advances. Each time she uses her power, her body feels completely drained. Faster! What's the holdup? The convoy behind is waiting. The supervisor bellows through a megaphone. Ryan, having no abilities, is assigned to the lowest tier transport team. His task is to carry those who froze or were bitten to the incineration pits. The stench there could knock someone out, plus there's constant risk of infection. But to survive, to get that half-moldy bun, he can only endure. Late at night, both collapse on the communal sleeping platform in the gymnasium. Hundreds of people are crammed here. The stench of sweat and feet mingles together. Chloe stares at her swollen, festering hands, tears streaming down uncontrollably. It wasn't supposed to be like this. She thinks of Ethan, of that warm fireplace. Ethan, you must be so pleased with yourself right now. Chloe grips the filthy blanket tightly, her nails digging into her palm. At this moment, the plaza in front of Central Hospital is packed with frozen zombies. These creatures aren't dead. The moment they sense a living person's body heat, they'll awaken instantly. System, activate stealth field. I expend a small amount of energy to form a thermal insulation layer around my body. Using my grappling hook, I climb directly to the third-floor window. The third floor houses the pharmacy. There are fewer zombies here. After dispatching a few wandering nurse zombies, I walk to the shelves. My hand sweeps across, and row after row of medicines vanish instantly. Halfway through my sweep, intense gunfire erupts from downstairs. I move to the window and look down. Two modified armored vehicles ram through the hospital gates. 7 or 8 fully armed thugs are spraying gunfire at zombies. The vehicles bear the emblem of a black shark. Black Shark Gang? These guys again. Seems they've also realized the importance of medicine and came to loot under cover of night. What a coincidence. I chuckle coldly. I'm in no hurry to leave. Instead, I settle into a comfortable position by the window to watch the show below. The Black Shark Gang's firepower is fierce. They quickly clear a path and head straight for the lobby elevators. The gunfire is too loud. Not just the zombies in the plaza. Even zombies from several surrounding blocks are drawn here. Just as the Black Shark Gang rushes into the lobby, the floor suddenly explodes. A massive zombie over 3 meters tall with rippling muscles bursts up from below. Tier 2 mutant. Titan. Power type. My pupils constrict slightly. A tier 2 mutant already? What the hell? What is that thing? The Black Shark Gang members are terrified. Several AKs open fire simultaneously. The bullets hit the Titan but only splash tiny blood blooms. The Titan roars, casually grabs an abandoned gurney nearby and hurls it like a frisbee. 2 Black Shark Gang members are instantly pulverized. The scene descends into chaos. Perfect timing. My eyes light up. That's a tier 2 power core from a Titan. It'll let me level up directly and likely unlock a new skill. I wait patiently for the Black Shark Gang to wear down the Titan's stamina. 5 minutes later, the lobby falls silent. All 7 Black Shark Gang members are corpses. The Titan is also heavily wounded, wheezing heavily. It crouches on the ground, devouring corpses to recover. Now's my chance! Like a hawk, I leap from the 3rd floor. Mid-air, I retrieve a bundle of TNT from my system space. I light the fuse. Here's a present for you. The Titan opens its maw, instinctively thinking it's food, and chomps down. I roll as I land, taking cover behind a support column. A violent explosion shakes the entire building. When the smoke clears, everything above the Titan's neck has completely vanished, leaving only a massive headless corpse. I walk over and rummage through the pile of shredded flesh. Finally, I find a walnut-sized core. Tier 2 power core obtained. High-purity energy source detected. Absorb and upgrade immediately? Yes. The core in my hand instantly transforms into a warm current flowing into my palm. I feel every bone in my body crackling. Power surges through me wildly. System upgrade successful. Current level LV2. New function unlocked. Spatial rift blade. Consumes mental energy to create a 1-meter spatial rift in reality. Ignores physical defense. Cuts through any object. Ignores defense? I look at my palm. With a thought, an ink-black line materializes at my fingertips. I lightly trace it across the heavy armor of a nearby armored vehicle. Like cutting tofu, the hard steel plate splits open in a smooth line. I retract the ability with satisfaction and look at the 2 still-running armored vehicles. They're loaded with supplies the Black Shark Gang scavenged over the past few days. Thanks, gentlemen. I wave at the corpses on the ground and absorb everything, vehicles and cargo, into my space. This hospital trip not only netted me medicine and a level up, but also a windfall. Day 15 of the apocalypse. Shelter 7. The air here no longer circulates. A sour stench and the moldy smell of despair permeate everything. The gymnasium that once held 50,000 people now houses fewer than 30,000. Order has collapsed. With the generators finally dying, the last glimmer of civilization has vanished. In the darkness, people are no longer people but starving beasts. There's no food left. Open the warehouse. The officers are hoarding everything while we're left to gnaw on bark. The riot erupts without warning. Thousands of starving survivors break through the guards' defense line and surge like a tide toward the core administrative area. Gunfire screams and the sounds of tearing flesh merge into chaos. Chloe huddles in a corner of the bleachers, clutching a long, dulled snow shovel. This past week has been a living death. Her once fair hands are covered with frostbite and blisters. Chloe, run! This place is finished! Ryan rushes over, his face covered in blood. They say the zombie horde outside has breached the perimeter. This place is about to become a death trap. Run, run where? Chloe stares despairingly at the blizzard outside. It's 60 below out there. Going out is suicide. Go to the western outskirts, to your brother. Ryan grabs her shoulders and shakes her hard. Before, just the two of us wouldn't have worked. But what if we bring these thousands with us? Ryan's voice takes on a demonic whisper. You know the commander still has several heavy armored vehicles and heavy weapons, right? If you tell him. There's a fortress in the western outskirts stocked with supplies, heating, and electricity. What do you think he'll do? Chloe's eyes change from despair to resentment, finally transforming into manic resolve. You're right. Why should I suffer alone? If you won't open the door to save me, then if I die, everyone dies together. Inside the core office, the commander, drenched in sweat, directs his subordinates to destroy documents while preparing to evacuate. Commander, I know a place. Chloe bursts in, shouting loudly despite the guns pointed at her. I know where there are supplies. Tens of thousands of tons, plus generators, plus completely secure fortifications. The commander whips around, staring at her intently. What did you say? I'm not lying. It's my brother's place. He's a hoarding system awakened. Before the apocalypse, he emptied every cold storage facility in the city. It's at the abandoned industrial zone in the western outskirts. If we take that place, we can survive. Everyone can survive. The commander's eyes light up. With the greedy gleam of salvation and desperation, the news spreads through the shelter like a virus. There's a granary in the western outskirts. Some selfish rich guy hoarded tens of thousands of tons of food. Let's kill him and take it all. The rioters, previously killing each other, suddenly have a common target. Half an hour later, a convoy with 5 heavy armored vehicles in the lead, over a dozen modified trucks following, and thousands of survivors trailing behind charges into the blizzard. Chloe sits in the lead armored vehicle, a cruel smile playing on her lips. Brother, this time I've brought an army to visit you. Let's see if you still refuse to open the door. At the rear of the convoy, a zombie horde drawn by the scent of living humans silently follows. The steel fortress's alarms don't sound. Instead, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony plays with rousing intensity. Dressed in a black tactical coat, I stand before the bulletproof floor-to-ceiling window on the second floor, a glass of red wine in my hand. I watch the writhing column moving through the snow in the distance. Finally, looking at the densely packed red dots on the surveillance screens, I smile. The system interface pops up a warning, large-scale hostile targets detected approaching. How flattering. I take a small sip of wine. I'm not worried in the slightest. If anything, I'm excited. These past few days at home, I've been bored enough to rust. Apart from upgrading abilities and watching old movies, dancing on a razor's edge is the apocalypse's greatest thrill. The convoy stops 500 meters from the industrial zone. The commander's voice booms through a megaphone. Ethan inside, listen carefully. We are the official search and rescue team from Shelter 7. We are now lawfully requisitioning your supplies and shelter. Disarm immediately and open the gate. I chuckle into my microphone. You mean bandits? My voice drips with undisguised mockery. The commander's face darkens. He didn't expect such stubbornness. Those who refuse mercy get none. Chloe, didn't you say you could break through? Go up there and call out. Let's see what family bonds look like. Chloe is pushed forward. She stands atop the armored vehicle with a megaphone. Ethan, you're surrounded. Look at these people. They're starving. You're hoarding all these supplies alone. Doesn't your conscience hurt? Open the door now and everyone might remember your kindness. Otherwise, when we break in, you'll be torn to pieces. Torn to pieces? I shake my head. My finger rests lightly on a red button on the console. Little sister, you're still so naive. You think bringing all these people threatens me? You're delivering experience points. Open fire. The commander loses patience. An RPG rocket whistles toward the factory gate, but just as it's about to hit, an invisible barrier flares to life. The rocket ricochets as if hitting a mirror, bizarrely reversing course and shooting straight toward a nearby truck. The truck loaded with rioters is instantly blown to scrap metal. Return fire. Shoot! Countless bullets rain down on the walls like a storm, but only sparks fly. They barely scratch the paint. I snap my fingers. My turn. Then I press the button. Defense system sequence 2, minefield activated. The snow beneath the rioters at the front suddenly collapses. Hundreds of mines detonate in succession. The snow instantly turns crimson. Hundreds of people simply vaporize. Retreat. Fall back. The crowd stampedes backward in terror, but those behind keep pushing forward. The scene instantly descends into complete chaos. Just then, deafening howls erupt from the snowy plains behind them. Over 1,000 zombies, drawn by the explosions and blood, finally reveal their fangs. Stimulated by fresh blood, they charge into the rear of the crowd like rabid dogs. Help! Zombies! Zombies behind us! We're surrounded. Chloe, use your ability to clear the minefield ahead. Hurry. The commander, eyes wild with desperation, presses his gun to Chloe's head. Chloe trembles all over, desperately using her elimination ability on the area ahead, but the minefield is too vast. Her stamina is a drop in the ocean. In less than a minute, blood streams from her nose. She collapses on the vehicle roof. Useless! The commander kicks her off the vehicle and dives into the armored vehicle attempting to flee. But how could I let him escape? Since you came all this way, leave something behind. I stand on the terrace and raise my right hand, making a grasping motion at the turning armored vehicle. Spatial rift blade! A visible black fissure slashes through the air. Without a sound, the multi-ton heavy armored vehicle, along with the commander inside, is cleaved in half at the waist. The entire battlefield falls deathly silent, everyone stunned by the power of that single strike. Ryan hides among the corpses, staring at the man standing on high like a god. The battle rages for 3 full hours. The force of over 3,000 is almost entirely wiped out. Corpses litter the ground. The heat from fresh blood melts the snow, which quickly refreezes into a thick layer of red ice, turning this place into a massive open-air morgue. The zombie horde has also been mostly cleared by my heavy machine gun. The blizzard stops. A pale moon hangs in the sky, illuminating this hellscape. Only 2 living people remain before the gate, Chloe and Ryan. Lucky for them, being kicked off the vehicle at the start and playing dead under the wreckage allowed them to barely cling to life until now. The gate slowly opens. Tactical axe in hand, I walk toward them step by step. Chloe kneels on the ground, face covered in blood. I was wrong. I was really wrong. I was forced. The commander forced me to come. You know how timid I am. Right. They forced us. For the sake of our past relationship, spare me. I'll serve you like a slave. I stop 2 meters in front of them. Without a word, I retrieve a table and chairs from my system space. Then I pull out a small red clay stove. I light the fire, set up the pot, pour water, add the hot pot base. Soon, the spicy aroma wafts through the air. I take out a plate of thinly sliced lamb and leisurely begin cooking it. Hungry? I pick up a piece of meat and blow on it to cool it. Chloe and Ryan's throats bob, their eyes fill with longing but even more with fear. Let me have a bite, please! Chloe begs through tears. This scene is so familiar. I place the meat in my mouth and chew slowly. In my past life, I begged you the same way. Through that door, I begged you for a sip of water, even just an expired cracker. What did you say? Chloe trembles all over, too terrified to speak. You said supplies are for useful people. The useless don't deserve to waste air. I set down my chopsticks and look at them with icy eyes. Now, I return those words to you. I stand up. The tactical axe in my hand gleams coldly in the moonlight. Ryan, I call out. Ryan thinks there's hope and quickly looks up. You said you love Chloe and would die for her, right? Ryan hesitates and glances at Chloe beside him. Kill her, and I'll take you in. My voice is full of temptation. I'll even give you an enhancement serum. You can become awakened too. A dagger lands in front of Ryan. The ultimate test of humanity. No! Chloe stares at Ryan in terror, backing away. You won't! We're in love! Ryan looks at the dagger, then at the warm, brightly lit fortress behind Ethan, then at this filthy, worthless woman before him. In that moment, the mask called love completely shatters. Ryan suddenly snatches the dagger and lunges at Chloe with a twisted expression. Chloe, you heard him! If you die, I get to live. You're useless now anyway. What's wrong with dying for me? Chloe screams. Survival instinct unleashes her last reserves of strength. The dagger in Ryan's hand vanishes into thin air, but he's already on top of Chloe. Both hands clamp tightly around her neck. Die! Die! Stop blocking my way! The two grapple in a pool of blood, like two beasts tearing at each other. Ugly. Utterly ugly. I watch this scene coldly, as if watching a grotesque comedy, until both are exhausted and collapse on the ground, gasping. Chloe's face is mangled from bites. Ryan has lost an eye. Magnificent. I clap slowly. But I lied to you. I walk up to them and raise my axe. My safe house never accepts garbage. Amid their desperate screams, the axe rises and falls. Blood sprays onto the white snow like a blooming plum blossom. The grudges of this life finally come to an end. Without hesitation, I turn and wave my hand. The corpses on the ground and the armored vehicle wreckage in the distance are all absorbed into the system's waste disposal. The entrance becomes spotless once more. Back inside, I walk to the massive floor-to-ceiling window. I watch the blizzard still raging outside. The world has died, but I'm still alive, and I'll live well. I take a bottle of aged whiskey from the cabinet and pour 2 glasses. One I pour on the floor, a tribute to my foolish past life self. The other I raise to the sky, toasting this cruel yet magnificent new world. Hello, Apocalypse. I am Ethan, king of this domain.